Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Is there any citizens input?
Hi, everybody. Corey Arneson. I came here tonight. I am a member of the rec center. I got a family membership. I'm pretty much the only one that uses it, but every once in a while, like, my daughter comes with. I don't think my son's ever came with yet, or nor has my wife. I usually try to use it at least every weekend, if not a couple times during the week. And then every weekend, my daughter actually starts asking me if she can come with me. She's 9, or 8, almost 9. A couple weeks ago, she got kicked out because she's not 14. Supposedly, which I was never told when I got the membership, you're not allowed to be in the fitness area unless you're 14. In the rec center policies, there's a couple different areas where it contradicts each other as far as being accompanied by a youth, being accompanied by an adult. It says adults have to have a family membership and you have to have supervision at all times. And then further on, it says anything after hours is 18 and above. And then further on, it says 14 and over. So there's a couple different areas where age is brought up, but this isn't the first time she's been in there. She's been in there numerous times. She's always really respectful. She wipes down all the equipment, makes sure she's not interrupting anybody's workout. And she's usually always within an eye's view of me. This last time, the only time she wasn't within an eye's view is when she went to the bathroom. Of course, I didn't follow her into the bathroom. She can go to the bathroom herself. She was asked to leave after she got back from going to the bathroom, stating that she wasn't allowed in there, even with a parent. If she was with a personal trainer, she could be in there. My issue with that is, I mean, even according to the Mayo Clinic's website, they even state that fitness becoming a part of a youth plan as early as 7 is a good improvement for developing good habits for later on in life. She's in numerous sports. She tries to keep up with anything that she can to help improve her mobility and everything else. I'm just not sure why she can be in there with a personal trainer, but not even her parent. When she's not abusing any of the equipment, she's not being disrespectful. When I've seen other people in there with personal trainers that are abusing the equipment, not working out, just horsing around. I think that should be changed, that as long as they're with a parent and not abusing anything, they should be allowed in there to help develop good habits for later on in life. I was told that even if she was abusing anything,
That's 3
it's
minutes.
harder. Oh. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there anybody else that has citizen input? If not, we'll move on to delegations. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Not, I need a motion, correct? To approve the agenda?
Make the approved agenda. Second.
Next, we'll look at the minutes.
You were looking for an all in favor to approve the minutes?
Oh, sorry. All in favor to approve the agenda? Right?
Aye.
Aye. There we go. Next, we'll look at minutes.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Financial reports? Anything you want to talk about, Kevin?
The only thing out of the ordinary that stands out in there are two bills, one for batteries for bumper cars at $7,800 and a Rexwinkel concrete for the stadium at at $34,000. Otherwise, the bills are ordinary. If you'd like me to open each of them, I can.
I'm okay. I'll motion to approve the financial report. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Department reports.
Assumption is that the board has read the reports that were written, so unless if you have specific questions on something, I think we can move on to the next item.
Everybody good?
Yep.
Approval of the pontoon rental agreement.
This is a document that each of you got to look over at the last board meeting. It's brought back to you this month for approval.
There's nothing that was changed, correct, from last?
Correct. Other than taking the notes off page 3 that were meant to be a part of just notes for my own purposes. So now there's just the 2 pages here.
I'll move to approve that pontoon rental agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of dog park shelter design, location, and construction. Okay. Okay.
You want me to start talking, or do you have questions?
I guess one of my thoughts, as far as potentially, I just looked at this and thought, with the picnic tables that are out there already, is it worthwhile to incorporate a larger structure to just incorporate the picnic tables too? Is it something that we want to do? Or not? That's the only thing I thought when I saw this was, it's serving a purpose of protecting, obviously, the people that are out there, but the people that maybe are on the picnic tables that, whatever, that was my only thought when seeing the design for discussion.
So we have the windows again, that's, we're looking back at doing windows again?
Windows are an option.
Yeah, windows are optional. So we had a little meeting with the dog park people, and we talked about putting it on the fence. Basically, everyone agreed that would be a poor idea, because if there's benches in there, the dogs could jump on the bench and jump the fence and get into the next deal, unless you'd have to build the fence taller, which would not be a good idea. So based on what the regulars at the dog park said, is they would prefer one shelter on the large side, because majority of the people have large dogs, and that's where the large dogs are. Would you agree, Rick?
Yes.
And then I brought some stuff. I mean, you guys could look. It's a pretty simple design. All the stuff's there. Windows are optional, so it's up to you guys. This is what I would use for siding. LP Smart Siding. Real nice. All the new houses are built with it. You want to flip those lights off? For lighting, Rick got like a bid for like $12,000. I can get this for 50 bucks. So plenty bright. You can put that out there. Motion sensor, solar powered. You can turn those lights back on. Dusk to dawn runs at 1,000 lumens, and then what you saw there was 3,500. If there is motion, it'll bump it up to that 3,500 and then drop it back down. So there'll always be light at night, no matter what. So basically what I would do is just on that shelter, go up another 4 or 6 feet, tie on a 4x4, and then just mount that. And hang it off a little bit in the front so it would not only shine on in front of it, but also into the inside a little bit. That way we don't have to run power and we can save $12,000.
So from the guy that, what was your name, I don't remember?
Rick.
Rick, you seem to know the dog park pretty well.
Yes. I met with Todd Hone, he's the estimator for Muth, and he had said that I think the city was looking at putting 3 lights out there. We don't think we need 3 lights. And after talking with Todd, he says, I think you're right. One of the lights that they wanted to put in the parking lot, there is a light in the parking lot by the tan building, if you're familiar with out there, and it does cover pretty much the parking lot. He said with this other light we'd put in between the 2 dog parks, he said you would pretty much have full coverage of lighting from the parking lot to the dog park. Plus the lights would also shine into the the large dog park too. So, and then he said they also talked about putting a light in the back of the park. I think it would be a waste of money, to save some money here. Nobody goes back there late at night. As long as they got light out there, you know, on both the small and the large dog park, you know, we only really need one 40-foot pole, and it generate light for both sides of the park. And Todd said he thought that was very feasible. He thought it would work very well.
So there's, the way you're talking right now, there's only one of them on the big dog only.
There's no lights.
No
on.
lights.
Oh, I mean, as far as the shelters, there's one shelter on the big dog side.
Correct.
One-
There will
Well,
be.
no, we're talking about building one there.
Yes.
Yeah,
And one of the gentlemen mentioned about having lighting in the shelters. This, you know, the motion sensor, that would be perfect.
I was just, the only reason I'm asking is, the first phone call that these guys are gonna get is, why isn't there one on the small dog side? So-
Because you're gonna have light from the parking
No,
lot.
not lights, a shelter.
Oh,
Yeah,
shelter,
a whole
okay,
structure.
well,
We're
that
focused
would
on
be
the shelter.
next, that would be next, so.
Next
and I-
is, what is that?
Well, I have a family that's interested in donating to build another shelter.
Okay.
So I want to talk to them a little further and see exactly where they want to go with that, so. But they have said that their family would be willing to pay for another shelter.
What is the lighting like at entry?
There is none.
Well, what we're getting,
No, I know there's not any, but as far as, because you said the light from where the
parking lot,
parking lot is by the tan shed is, I know, I mean, I've been by there 100 times, but I haven't been going into the entry of the dog park at night.
If I came out of H last night after using the restroom, walking out there with the dog, the light, I believe, is on the north side of that shed and shines toward the entrance toward that complex. It could provide some light going over toward the dog park as well, but I guess I've
But
not
like
been there in the
getting
dark.
entry into the park, there's,
you're just getting the light from the parking lot,
Yeah.
which is fairly dim by the time but if you put that one light in the park between the two, Todd said he thought there'd be more than sufficient lighting from the parking lot to the,
so if one pole was paid for, that would probably be the location of,
yeah, we
by the entry point.
we looked at different areas, and I said, well, what about right here? We looked around, he said this would be an ideal spot for it. The other thing we're talking about on the bid, he was telling me the poles are $1,500. And I said, is there any way to save a little money there? And he said, yes. He said, you can go to Central Electric, buy a used pole. You have to sign off on it, but buy a used pole for $75. So instead of $1,500, we can buy a used pole for $75. And all you have to do is sign off on it, so. But he recommended a 40-foot pole. You'd have to put 10 feet into the ground. So he said it wouldn't be any problem with a used pole.
And I just want to make it clear, I am not paying for that
No,
very
no.
expensive light pole. Okay, so.
That's a different-
I'm willing to put a $50 motion sensor light on. If the absence of any other light is a problem, then I will not be taking care of that. That, I'm gonna do my thing, you guys talk about your other stuff. I know this is what's on the agenda, so.
But I think we can save money, instead of putting three light poles out there, one, and buy a used pole. Save, what, $1,425 there, so.
Did you receive any updates?
Just the quote that, from Todd.
Just the one for 12.3.
Yep, and that's for 2 light poles that are 30 feet tall.
It was only for 2, Jeremy?
That's what he gave me. You're the one that talked to him.
Okay.
I just got the quote.
Well, originally
But on the
we talked
quote,
3. Originally, we talked 3.
the quote is for 2 light poles, 30 foot.
Does he show where it's at, or does he say where he's, the one in the middle, between the 2 dog parks, is that correct? Where was the other one gonna go?
I didn't talk to him.
Okay.
I just got an email of the quote.
Well, he felt one would work, so, and that would be the one in the middle, between the 2 dog parks.
Unless the board thinks it's important that we talk about that light right now, really, we're talking about the structure.
Yes. Any other questions?
Any of the other city employees have questions, comments?
From this plan, what does the city need to pay for?
What is what?
The city need to pay for?
Nothing. Well, so I'll take care of the wood, I'll take care of the building, I'll take care of everything. Rick said he's got a guy for the concrete, so nothing.
That's paying for the concrete?
You mentioned about the siding.
I'll pay for the siding.
Okay.
So the concrete floor is paid for?
Correct.
Or were we doing a little apron around the outside? We talked about that, I think, last time.
An apron.
Like just a small around the outside where the water runs off.
Yeah. Yep, yeah. So
Basically-
if this is a 4x8 structure, it's gonna be 8 feet, literally exactly 8 feet to the outside dimensions, just so I don't have to buy 10 foot and cut a whatever off. And then, you might go a foot off or over, because if you look on there, I told them to do an overhang on the front and the back, just to keep water from dripping down the siding and ruining it. So it'll be, I can't remember if we did a 2-foot overhang total, so 1 foot on each side. You'd have to go to the side angle. So, and thank you to Kevin Genslinger. He watched the last board meeting, and then he reached out and said he would just draw this up for free, so that was super nice. Right there, go back up. So he drew this up for free for a donation. I just want to say thank you to him.
It appears to be a 1 foot.
Yeah, so it should be a 1 foot by 1 foot. It shouldn't be, like I said, that fence idea I don't think is a good idea. We just build one and go from there. So we'd run 2x6. He said 2x4. I'll probably do 2x6 just because I like a little stronger. And then do purlings going the opposite direction, and then just do a metal roof on top, whatever color, I don't care. It's all the same price. Same for the siding. I mean, they make brown siding. I'm sure you guys don't want Knight's Arm or gray. But I can do brown, I could do like a green, I could do a gray, earth tones, whatever. Same for the roof.
Excuse me, would you want it to match the other buildings, like the baseball field buildings and that, or as far as color goes?
I own a painting company. I could paint anything, any color, so not a big deal. We just decide. It's up to you.
Personally, I think it'd be good to have it coordinate with the rest of what's out there.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know exactly what colors they are, but I just color match and get it close, and I could put unpainted siding and then just paint it. It's like 60 square feet.
We got, whether it's the building in the middle of the parking lot, yeah, that shed, or Cadwell, or, depending what you want to match, but there's different things that we can connect it to make it look like.
Just tie it all in,
Yes.
really tie it together. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's up to me. It's up to you guys. You just tell me what color. Because I think there's green at the furthest west. We got some microphone fuzz I hear. Okay. Okay. I think the furthest west is green, and then I think it's tan, and then I think white is east softball diamond stuff, so I'm not 100% certain. Whatever, doesn't matter. You pick the color, I'll put it on there.
Kevin, are there any other, like, Ts and Is to dot and cross when someone is basically building on a city piece of land that we're not aware of? I don't know.
If-
I don't know what they're doing.
If I can give a suggestion, typically, if we're going to have an outside party doing any construction on city property, or even if someone's constructing what will be a public road, we'll have the engineering, public works department just review the final set of plans before they start to make sure we're not going to cause digging somewhere where we're not supposed to, or something like that.
Yeah, we can have Joe and John take a look at that.
It would be actually probably Joe and Joella that would review the
Joella.
plans, yeah.
Jordan, are you bonded?
I can get bonded for $100. I have a $1 million umbrella, and I have a $2 million commercial umbrella, and then I also have $2 million of liability for my business, so I'm insured majorly.
Anybody else got any questions?
I believe a bond is just if I would ever not finish the work, and then you guys would have to pay for someone to complete it, I think is how a bond works. Yeah. Since you're not paying me, I don't know that it would be necessary.
Sorry.
Can you go back to that right there? Scoot that back over. So are those right there
So neither of those. So Kevin kind of screwed that, Mr. Genslinger. It's okay. Like, so that would be just on that, just south on the other side of those trees, right there. Yep.
I believe when we were out there with him, he pointed out that that was the low spot where it should not be built.
Who?
We were out there with Kevin.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's a high spot, then we build it there. Be a lot easier.
that is
Easier to put it there than move dirt.
This is a pocket. And as much as I think that having that as additional shelter is a good idea, if this is the high ground and that is not.
We're gonna have water issues. Yeah, I'll put it high.
Sorry, I just drove in from Sioux Falls and I was listening on the way. And so I did hear the part about we're going to put up a large dog shelter, hold off on the small dog shelter because you said you had a family that wanted
He said he'd have someone.
Talked to a family that was very interested in donating another shelter.
Because at one point, we had talked about putting them on, side, across the fence so that they were together.
Yeah. So we talked to those guys and what they said, that a dog might jump on the bench, jump over the fence, and then you have chaos.
The other thing too is the dogs like to run between the fences.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of their exercise, running back and forth, and that would break it up,
I
so.
I'm not following that, Rick.
Dogs go crazy and run on the fences really fast. Yip.
Oh. They zip along here. is what you're
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
When we were out there, I noticed that.
Yes.
That's their runway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't want to get in the way.
Give me an estimate of what you think you're in for materials.
Yeah, what do you think if the city were to build one to match? If someone didn't donate it? What do you think?
I
it'd
could
be?
probably get it built for $1,500 if the city was going to do it, probably $20,000. I don't know. I've seen how government works, so that's just the truth. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I'm going to get my materials at wholesale prices, and then rather than pay a contractor $75 an hour, for a week, I mean, I'm just going to go out there and do it myself.
I had gone to Menards a couple of years ago and asked them to show me some plans. And very similar plan was at that time, and that was a lot of metal in that one, was $1,800. So that'd be max.
Yeah. I have a bunch of the smart side left over from my last project, and 4x4s and 2x4 stuff. I mean, extra windows, depending on if you guys want windows or not. I prefer to put windows. I think it'll look sharp and nice. And actually went around and almost every single city shelter has a window. I couldn't find any that don't have windows.
I can't remember what kind of glass it is that is shatterproof.
Yeah,
but
tempered. But do you guys put tempered glass in all your windows? Yeah, no.
No, you can just do regular.
Yeah, I think the biggest vandalism is spray paint. Do you guys get a lot of broken windows? Oh, God, geez. So, very,
It sinks and
Who would be doing the concrete?
I talked to Dean Rubin, Mitchell Concrete.
I have a couple of concrete buddies that all I need to do is really either have those guys come out and help me, or, I mean, I can finish concrete, no problem. Or else I can have Top Grade come out. He does all this, a lot of the city work, I should say. He's got the big, because we can't get a truck in there, so he'll have to use like one of those little drivey wheelbarrow things to wheelbarrow it out there. So it'd be, let's see, 5 by 10, so it's 50 square feet of concrete. Very little.
One thing that was brought up was some vandalism late at night.
Go up here, because when we replay the audio, people
Oh.
can't hear when you're back there.
Okay.
And who's talking.
One thing that was brought up would be, yeah, Rick Agnich, I'm sorry. What was brought up was some vandalism late at night, and they were concerned about that. We've talked with several police officers, and a lot of the police officers do their paperwork out in the parking lot late at night. So I talked to Dustin, I can't think of Dustin's last name, but they said they're usually out here most nights doing their paperwork, so I would think that would help eliminate a lot of vandalism, so.
Maybe we need to let the police officers know all of the places we need them to be doing their paperwork, right? Could you please do your paperwork out at Sandy Beach tonight, right?
Trying to think of what else. Hey, Kevin, can you bring up that email that you sent me, just so we can check off all the boxes? Trying to think of what else there would be. You guys have any other concerns? I was talking to a friend. He said if you guys hate it and have a bunch of problems, we just go rip it down in about 45 minutes and throw it in the back of my truck. I mean, it's pretty small, so.
So this, what we're looking at right now is just the construction of the building, correct? Does the lighting go with it, or how's this all work?
I think the lighting is totally separate. He just put that on my list. Same for the porta potty. I am definitely not putting a porta potty out there. If you guys, I'm sure people have been going to the bathroom in the trees or wherever, or just leaving for a long period of time.
The reason I bring it up is because if the shelter gets built and the lights take 6 months to get there.
Well, it's been dark since
Yeah.
God built it, so I mean,
Well, that's true.
So CAD design, well, that's taken care of with architect.
Yep.
Materials to be agreed upon, color, texture, we still haven't listed color other than it should match one of the designs out there.
okay,
Who will construct?
that's me.
Talked about you. Roof line and materials,
Metal, wood, metal roof, wood framing.
so regular, not sheet metal, but actual roof.
Yeah, just
metal
tin,
roof,
just like every other tin roof.
raised ridge,
Yes.
tin roofs.
Yep,
Windows question mark,
that's up to you guys.
location on map and direction will face, we've talked about that.
Floor,
Floor.
molded concrete.
Concrete, lighting location are proposed, that was subject to discussion.
Yeah. I'm not going to light the whole dog park, just the shelter, just to make sure that's clear.
Funding, who is covering what, sounds like it's all covered, especially if it's not on the fence line, because then we aren't disrupting a fence.
Right.
Maintenance repairs, generally speaking, when somebody builds something for the city, it's taken care of by the city after that point. Snow removal, with it being mostly open, actually it's not, it's 3 sides closed, but it's so shallow that I don't foresee it being a
Yeah,
snow issue.
I don't think anyone's going to ask you to shovel 100 yards. But again, you guys seemed surprised last time I said that, so. And porta potty, yeah, that is 100% not my deal, so that's up to you guys. But people would really like it.
And Kevin, as far as the lighting, I can get back with Todd on that, on the one pole.
Okay, I think the other one he had proposed was on the corner of the parking lot.
Put the other light?
That was my thought. There was one on each side of the park as well as one at the corner of the parking lot.
But didn't you say you were out there last night and it was fairly well lit on the parking lot?
No, when I came out of between the softball complex, the south complex, walking toward the shed, the light was shining at me coming out of that complex. And it wasn't out there at complete darkness, but based upon what I saw and where it was shining, I'd say it shines on that entrance to the complex and not over toward the dog
No,
park.
no. It only goes up about halfway up the sidewalk.
Okay.
But Todd thought that it would cover with the one light between the two dog parks. He said that would merge with the other lighting, so.
And I did the math, you could put 240 of these up for that price, and you could have it look like Dodger Stadium out there, you just screw them to the trees, so I mean, if you really want to add lights for 50 bucks, you can light some.
Can you show me that to me? I didn't.
Yeah, will you turn the lights
didn't see it
off
in
one
the
more
car.
time? It's super bright.
I don't know you're joking about screwing them to the trees, but.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, sorry, don't look at it. But I mean, that's going to be at night, you know.
Yeah,
And you can
that's
change the light color, I like natural, but you can go like, where's it out here?
The bright white.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not. It only has a test mode. I'm not sure what the heck I did. Turn the light off, or on. I think I fiddled with it too much.
I wonder if you could put that on the light pole for Diamond Eye. You got those poles there now, and use that pole for the gates. You can have shut off the gates.
Yeah, and I looked all over the internet. This one was just like the brightest one you can get from Menards for 50 bucks. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Put the mount on our pole that we already have.
Yeah, if you have poles or whatever. I mean, I'd screw stuff to trees. I built a whole fence once that was tied to trees. It's still there 10 years later. Everyone made fun of me for it, but it looks good. So, I mean, if you guys want to add lights and save a tremendous amount of money, that's a topic for a different day, but.
Yep.
The only other thing I'm guessing you guys would ask is when I would start. I was hoping to start this month last time, but my whole month is packed, so it'd probably be in middle of June before I get someone out there setting posts.
Done in a month?
What'd you say?
Done in a month?
Oh, gosh. No, not only can I do it 10 times cheaper than the government, but probably 10 times faster, so it'd be like a week.
So let's talk again about color. Did we firm that up?
Just to match, where do you guys want me to match it? I think would that be the easiest? The Cadwell?
The bulb of the dugouts aren't they a green out there, Kevin?
Yeah.
And that concession
Kind
stand.
of a forest green.
Ask the color, person who's color deficient. Well, to Jeremy.
The biggest building is the tan ones on the concession.
With green roof, right?
We had debates yesterday about what color they should be, and if you go light, it becomes a potentially a canvas, and if you paint it dark, it becomes a canvas. So what's the happy medium in that?
I think like a beige.
But it does a beige match anything?
They're dirt. I don't know. Beige matches everything.
The bathrooms are kind of beigeish cream. The ice arena is about that color. If you wanted something darker, you could do the brown of the fence or the green of Cadwell. I mean, any of those. There's about 4 that you could pick from. But as far as what it has to be, it doesn't really matter as long as it's one of those that matches something out there.
Yeah, just say match existing shelter. Nearest existing shelter.
But you're getting regular siding and painting it.
Yeah, I mean, I would just get unfinished, because you can't paint this once it's already colored, so, well, you can, but it's just got to prime it, but not a big deal. Take like less than a gallon for sure. So I just need you guys to answer windows, yes or no? And I would do pocket windows, not flange, just in case you ever have to rip the whole window out, you just rip it out and put the new one in, no big deal. Flange, you'd have to take the siding off. And then approve the location and the color, I think. Color, windows, location. I think location we pretty much figured out, right? Or it's high.
How do we make those decisions?
You say yes.
So the windows, let's talk about the windows. Do you think that's is it worth it if it's a high vandalism risk or not? What do you think? What's your, I mean, if we take
I don't
each
think it's
issue.
necessarily a vandalism risk. I just think they're gonna get, without someone washing them occasionally, or out in a dog park that's like 10% mud usually, or dirt, you're gonna just get really dirty.
You think
kinda
someone
gross.
needs to go out and wash the windows? There you
I
go.
think someone does not.
Yeah, but if you say it now, you'll have to do it for the rest of
Yeah,
your life.
that's right. Yep. And then you have to find someone.
It's on,
15
it's
years from now to
documented,
do it.
Rick.
There are some people who clean up after other dogs daily.
Yeah.
And I don't know that we can throw at them doing windows as well. So it'd be nice to have someone say, you know what, windows are my forte. That wasn't me.
How big are those windows, Jordan?
36 by, I think 36, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're big.
pretty
I bought 2 extra on clearance at Menards, and I can't do anything with them. They've been in my garage for 2 years.
What's the point of the windows?
Sorry, you're.
What's the point of the windows?
1, to let light in from the other side, and then for 2, if you can see action behind you, like if there's dogs, whatever, doing naughty things, you can look behind you and say, we better stop that immediately.
It's only 8 foot, you can just stick your head out too. And not have broken glass.
Yeah.
I'm against the windows.
Yeah. I say throw out, I mean, I'm not a voting member, I'm just here, but I agree.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't put windows in it.
Yeah, I'm not, I mean, you look at some of the windows in some of these other facilities that are outside all the time. I mean, it's just, yeah, it would be a daily task to.
Yeah, no big to me. Much easier to
I'm
decide,
against the
but
windows, but.
Okay, so unless I hear different, we're against windows. Correct?
I hear consensus there.
That's what I'm hearing too. What was the second? Color. The color.
match existing.
Green, isn't it?
Beige or green?
Beige or green?
Nail it down, Jeremy.
Beige siding and green roof.
Are the roofs that, are the new dugout roofs, they're green tin, right?
Yes. Tin roof beige,
That's what I would say.
tin roof beige paint, or sorry,
Green roof, beige paint.
Yes.
Yep.
Green roof
I would say that would be the color match.
to match existing. No windows. All right, cool. We got her pretty much nailed down.
Third is location.
Yeah, it'd be the one right where his mouse is at.
Yeah.
That's where they are desiring it the most. Highest location, highest traffic.
Kind of what I'm hearing.
That sound good, Rick, so far? Everything sound good? No objections?
Consensus, good? Where we want it? Where we want it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I need a, right, motion to
you're looking
approve.
for a motion.
I need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve the dog park shelter,
With the details as previously
Provide.
discussed.
the details from this meeting. I can list them, tan paint, green roof at the highest location with Jordan's fancy lights with no windows,
And Public Works reviewing the plan before.
being reviewed by the Public Works and engineer.
Second that.
Any further discussion?
Any further discussion?
That's for the one large shelter.
Yes.
I guess I would add to that motion that anything added to additional would be replicate exactly to what's there. If another structure is to be built, it will be replicated.
They'd be identical.
Yep.
What if you don't like it after it's up?
He's taking it down and throwing it in his truck, he said.
I go drive my skid loader and then rip it down. It goes down way faster than it goes up. I'm taking the cement with me, though. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so I got a motion and a second, correct?
Correct.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Can I ask one favor, is that you return to next month's board meeting and give us a progress update, even if you've not started yet, to say, here's my plans now.
Yeah, no problem. What day is it? So I can put it on my calendar. June 13th. 6 PM still?
Yep.
Yeah.
You look like you want to talk.
Oh, one last thing, Rick Agnich again. Would you want me to get back with Todd and talk to him about doing the one light?
I think if we have a price and from him on that update and in terms of a location of where he thinks that one ought to go, on paper, it'd be very useful.
Okay. One thing I talked to him about, how long do you leave the lights on out there at the park? Are they on all night, or?
Generally speaking, park lights go off the walkway at Dry Run Creek is on all night. Parks close at 11 PM.
Okay.
So I don't know that they need beyond that, but if there's a shelter there and there's not lights on, it's not a big shelter, so it's not like some.
Well, one thing we talked about was if they could possibly put motion sensors on the post, and he said, yes, that's very feasible. So, and he said it'd be pretty inexpensive too.
Okay,
So you wouldn't have to have the lights on all the time, just when people came in.
right. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Rick. Next meeting date?
Next meeting date. Just heard it, June 13th.
issues with
Talk, anybody? I'm good.
I think,
Yeah.
set the meeting at that
Yep.
date.
All right, next meeting, June 13th, 6 PM. Here, meeting adjourned.
Job.
All right, now.
Andy, is your pen black or blue?
Pink.
Okay, you can use mine. We do come in. You just, you can't have it.